a Friday, and we've got a show for you guys talking updated NFL top 10 players and really where Derrick Henry is going to fall in this. If you remember, every summer, every preseason, the NFL gets the top 10 NFL players of the year based on the previous year's votes from the players themselves. And Derrick Henry came in at number 10. Where should Derrick Henry be now after what's happened through halfway point of the season? And of course, I have to pay off the magic bucket, which includes me shotgunning a beer on live stream. Kevin asked Sean first, by the way, so credit to Sean for being first. And then Kevin on Periscope says, "Ready for that beer, Austin?" Yeah, I have no other choice but to be ready. I've got my knife. I've got my drink of choice.
So I was seeing if you're getting people going to be making fun of you for what you're doing.
Look, we'll get there. Like, everybody's piling in saying, let's see that shotgun. You'll see the shotgun here in a few minutes, but we're going to have a good time on the show. Then I'm going to have to regain my composure after burping a few times in front of all of you and then get to this conversation about the top 10 players in the NFL and where Derrick Henry lands on this. Zach's got a couple follow-up questions to that as well. Then we'll get into our SEC gambling picks as we get deeper into the show, where Zach has a 1-game lead over me for the season. And then ain't that good news? And I've got some localized good news that happened on a national level this week for ain't that good news. So all of the good news here to end our week and send us to the weekend. Zach, let's get this thing going.
Yeah, just shotgun it already, dude. Come on, bro.
I know. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on?
Huh? Yeah, what are you waiting on, bro?
Yeah. Waiting on the people. Waiting on the people.
Yeah, well, and how that happens, more people will watch the shotgun as more people pile in, and as you guys share the show to your friends, your buddies probably want to see Austin shotgun a beer. I mean, it's just entertainment, right? It's like, ooh, bright lights, ooh. It's like the Toy Story. But I do think you guys need to share the show before we get started. Bottom right corner of your screen, if you're watching on Twitter/Periscope, you'll see those 3 little dots. You can share the broadcast that way. Share around. We need to pop up in your Twitter followers timeline, so retweet this show. Also, on Facebook, what's going on Facebook, more people will rush in over the next 5 to 10 minutes. As you do, please share the show. Share now. To public sharing is caring, and caring is sharing, as we say. Welcome in Facebook, welcome in YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Going to have a good show. Look, this will have NFL vibes, but I felt like this is kind of the right time to diagnose where some of these players in the NFL were. You'd be surprised of this NFL top 100 that happened last year, of how many players in the top, I mean, you could even say top 20 are not even close to being there due to play or injury. So the good thing for Titans fans, Derrick Henry is very much in the mix. Has he gone up in his ranking from then? So we'll dive into it.
All right, let's get it going officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Zach Bingham. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at A to Z Sports. You like our Facebook page at A to Z Sports Nashville, where Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, and we go live every weekday morning at 8 Central Time. Got to thank our sponsors because they make it happen for our show, for our business, and you guys. Renters Warehouse Nashville, the professional landlords in the Nashville area. RentersWarehouse.com is where you go to find out how much your home can rent for. Mandu, the Pulse of Fitness, where 1 15-minute workout equals 5+ hours in the weight room at Mandu.com. Your first workout's free. The Tucker Agency, Nashville's independent insurance agency, giving you relief on your personal insurance at TuckerTN.com. Calvin and Subtle for those new hardwood floors and finishings. Find them at CalvinandSuttle.com. And then the Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. boneandjointtn.org. Zach, we've officially started the show now. So now we can really start to dive into this and get to the shotgun. So before we do this, and I shotgun this live on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Periscope, Twitter, guess what I'm going to shotgun. If you can, like, I just want to see what people are going to guess of what they think I'm going to use as my shotgun from the Magic Bucket, the BioPure Music City Magic Bucket that I picked yesterday. Zach knows. Have I showed you? Have you seen the can?
I don't know the brand. I know.
You know what it is, but you don't know what the brand is. but I can't remember if I carried it up on screen or not. But people can guess what they think I'm gonna shotgun. And obviously, Zach, I don't want you to guess early because
Did Kyle get it? Are you shotgunning a Twisted Tea?
that's
Kyle, you're getting the love of the show. That was funny. That just made me laugh because I was, and this is no shot to Twisted Tea. You're getting the love of the show. You just got it. Thank you, Kyle. That was funny. When you see Twisted Tea commercials, like I was watching a game with my buddies, and I'm like, nobody's like, "Oh man, you want to go grab a 6-pack of tea?" Like nobody says that.
No, that's correct.
But they're in business. I mean, they do well. No knock to Twisted Tea. If you want to jump on board this A to Z sports train, I will endorse some tea. But nobody's like, oh man, we got a 6 or a Twisted.
I honestly don't even think I've ever had a Twisted Tea.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's all right.
You've had one. You've had one. Okay, so what am I going to shotgun? We've got some guesses coming up here. I'm trying to scroll. A lot of comments came in.
Wine cooler.
Well, Dom's wine coolers come in bottles. You just need 2. Dom says White Claw. Jay says PBR. Sean says probably Claw. There's a Twisted Tea comment there. Truly from Ronald. Crompton's happy that he didn't miss the chug. We talked about that yesterday in our Vols preview. White Claw from Alex. White Claw from B-Mall. Zima. Please tell us it's an IPA.
Zima.
Maddie coming from Zach. Mango Hard Seltzer from Brad. Better not be a seltzer. White Claw. Keystone. Man, I've had a Keystone forever.
I know what it's not. It's not a double hopped IPA.
No, it's definitely not that. Natty Light from Tom. Miller Light from Crompton. The Claws, the Labra from John Michael. Gotta be Natty.
Alex is right, and it's an O'Doul's. You're doing it again.
Well, yeah, but why would I do it again with another O'Doul's? Because
you're doing it again with the real stuff.
So
what is it?
We had somebody. Hold on. There was somebody that was so close. Brad, so close because Brad nearly guessed the flavor. I've got passion fruit Truly here to shotgun. And Brad, the 2 Trulies that I had in my fridge were passion fruit and mango. I picked up the mango first, and then I checked to see what was behind it, and it was the passion fruit. And I decided to go with the passion fruit. So Brad nearly nailed it, flavor and all. So look, J Finn says pathetic.
All right, let's get this going. I'm tired of hearing about the damn brands. I want to see your ass shotgun right in front, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Come on,
I've got the knife.
Don't cut yourself. We don't need to go to the hospital today. But let's get this thing going. The people want to see it. Shotgun. Hey, beer emojis. Go beer emojis. Everybody type in, comment beer emojis. Beer emojis. Actually, do the twinkle emoji for the seltzer because it's not even beer. Do the twinkle. I'll put it in there. The twinkle twilight emoji. That I think would be more, just because of the fizz as he gets this thing going. See if I can.
I'm working on the hole is being created.
Uh-oh. Don't give us any jokes now.
Yeah, I know. All right, so I've never done a shotgun sitting down before. All right.
You're killing me with these jokes, man.
Okay. Here we go, right? This
All
is
right.
it.
3, 2, go.
Done.
Little spillage, but good. Very solid.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's what you get. That's what you get when you shotgun.
Touche. You got to bring the fire. That's the heat. If you can't handle the heat, you got to get out of the fire.
All right. That wasn't bad. That's not a bad way to start the show.
I think you're going to have a little bit more passion.
I tell you what, that's why I picked the passion fruit. Is because the passion is what we do it here with. Okay, so let me regather myself. I did bring some paper towels because I definitely need to do that. So Zach, before we get our actual conversation going, tell the people about the Tucker Agency.
I can absolutely do that. You can ensure that Austin chugged that truly, and you need to be insured when you drive around or you buy a home. TuckerTN.com is where to go. Our friends at Tucker Insurance Agency can help you. Will and his team can go in, diagnose what your policy is now. You probably don't know how much you're paying, which is a problem. And the average customer that emails him saves 20%. 20% could be money right back into your pocket. That's will@tuckertn.com. All you got to say is, heard about you on A to Z Sports. Austin Chugda, truly, I need help on my insurance. And then he'll if he's watching, he'll know exactly what's going on, and you'll save money. It's that simple. will@tuckertn.com.
All right, A to Z Sports. Let's get this show actually fired up now that we're 10 minutes into it, and I'm going to get sticky because I've got seltzer spilled all over my arms and my shirt. So, Zach, this morning we looked at the NFL's top 10 list of players from before the season because we knew Derrick Henry was at number 10, and Derrick Henry off to a really good start in this season. He's just 60 yards away from 1,000 yards in the season in just 9 games. So, where should Derrick Henry be in the new top 10 and updated top 10 NFL player rankings? And I'm definitely trying to not just belch all over everybody. Yeah, but where should Derrick Henry be in this conversation now that it's updated here?
So let's go back and let's take a look at the top 10 when they actually released it. And you know that they messed up because they released it before the Super Bowl because Patrick Mahomes should have been number 1. He took note of that. He's playing like that now. And Lamar Jackson, he is trending more down from a season ago, which he had a historic MVP campaign. But last year's top 10, you're going to hear a lot of these guys that are not going to be in the top 10 right now because of injury and sometimes play. So Lamar Jackson was number 1. I don't think he's top 10 right now. The Titans face him on Sunday. I think he's top 20, but I don't think he's top 10 right now. He's struggled at times, but very, very good. I think he's probably cusping of the top 10, but he's not number 1. So you had Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Donald, Patrick Mahomes, Michael Thomas, who has been injured this year, Christian McCaffrey, who has been injured this year, George Kittle, who has been injured this year. Then you had DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Gilmore, and then Derrick Henry. So there's room for some movement in this top 10 because of injury and guys being hurt.
Absolutely. So I think obviously we need to rework the top of this thing because Pat Mahomes being at number 4 is a crime. And I don't even know. I guess that's because these votes were happening during the regular season last year where Mahomes was dealing with his dislocated kneecap. So in order to find out where Henry can move up to, we got to start at number 1. So I don't know about you. I've got my re-ranked top players here. I've got Mahomes number 1, and there was no discussion about who else should be above him.
We agree.
Okay, so number 2 on this list, I actually put Aaron Donald. I feel like there's nobody who is more dominant on the defensive side of the football or a non-quarterback than Aaron Donald. I think Aaron Donald is number 2 on the list. Last year in the offseason, he was number 3. So I've got Donald moving up 1 spot. I've got Mahomes moving up 3 spots. So who do you have number 2, Zach?
I have Aaron Rodgers as number 2.
Okay.
He's the MVP leader right now in my book. And I told you this week, I said, I have a gut feeling the Green Bay Packers are going to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it was just a gut feeling. I have Aaron Rodgers as number 2. And to be fair, I kept Aaron Donald at number 3. I think he's stellar. I mean, I love Aaron Donald. I don't think anybody dislikes Aaron Donald. Because good dude, he's country strong, he's just a beast, and he can move weight. And that's his job, moving weight.
So you have Donald 3 and Aaron Rodgers 2. I've got the Aaron's opposite of what you do. So I've got Aaron Donald 2 just because I didn't want to take the position bias of quarterback too much into the fact of how dominant Aaron Donald really is as an interior defensive lineman. The fact that he can take over a game like that, I think that props him up. So I have him just above Aaron Rodgers and Rodgers at 3. At number 4, Zach, that's where I have Russell Wilson, who got a big win last night over the Cardinals in a bad weather Seattle game. I think that was a big deal for the Seahawks. Russell Wilson might not be leading the MVP candidates right now, but I think Russell Wilson is coming in at number 4, where he came into the season number 2 overall. So I have him dropping a couple spots.
So I have Russell Wilson dropping quite a bit.
Okay.
They lost 3 out of the last 4 games heading into last night. They obviously won, as you said. But I've got Russell Wilson a little bit lower. He has 10 picks, and those 10 picks have been happening in the last 4 weeks, or most of them, not all of them. But that kind of tells me he's starting to decline, which it's hard because he has a lot on his shoulders.
Yes,
you know
and
about that defense.
His defense is awful. So Russ Wilson is forced to do more, and the pressure is kind of like that of like what we've been talking about with Ryan Tannehill.
So I have the guy he faced last night. That's DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, geez. I thought you were going to say Kyler Murray.
No, DeAndre Hopkins is number 4 for me because I think DeAndre Hopkins believes he's the best wide receiver in the league. I know he does. I mean, he's on record as saying that. And I think because Michael Thomas and Drew Brees' decline this year, I think he's vaulted to the top. I think DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the league right now. And we're going to talk about a couple more wide receivers later on in the show. But DeAndre Hopkins, he catches pretty much anything. Kyler Murray's not the best thrower in the world. Now, and he had Deshaun Watson before, but what he's been able to do at Arizona, he's actually increased his level of play. Obviously, the Hail Mary, you have to give him credit for that, right? I mean,
sure,
he did that.
Well,
he did that.
The part of that play that people are, I don't think, giving enough credit is how Kyler Murray got to the launch point.
I figured that he was going to do that because that's what he does.
Yes, and what does DeAndre Hopkins do? He goes up and grabs a football with guys draped all over him. Now, does he push off a lot and get away with it? Absolutely, but that's what DeAndre Hopkins get. I have DeAndre Hopkins 5 right behind Russell Wilson. So whenever we've had a disagreement in our list, I've always had that guy one spot behind. So we're close. Who is your 5th player?
My 5th player is not Russell Wilson.
Okay.
It is Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
Dalvin Cook and what he means to the Minnesota Vikings. And I'll give you credit. You called the Vikings possibly making the playoffs because of their schedule and how they're playing. Now, Kirk Cousins is due for a 3-pick game one of these days. But Dalvin Cook can help him. The emergence of Justin Jefferson, he has been outstanding. I've got him on my fantasy team, so I watch him. Adam Thielen is right there as a good, solid wide receiver. He's kind of, the security blanket for Cousins. But Dalvin Cook is what stirs that drink. He leads the league in rushing over Derrick Henry, and he's a game breaker. You're not going to catch him. He's versatile, and I know you've been critical of Derrick Henry. Dalvin Cook can do everything. It's like Christian McCaffrey. And Christian McCaffrey would be in this conversation if he hadn't been hurt this season. But he's been hurt.
Yeah. And we have to take that into credit. Like George Kittle's still a damn good football player, but he's been hurt as well. So Robbie asked, can you repeat what you've ranked so far when we get a chance? Yes. So we're at the top 5. So I think it's a good spot to do it. For my top 5, I have 1, Pat Mahomes, 2, Aaron Donald, 3, Aaron Rodgers, 4, Russell Wilson, 5, DeAndre Hopkins. And Zach, your top 5 is
Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald, DeAndre Hopkins, and then Dalvin Cook at 5.
So the one guy that's not in your top 5 that is in mine is Russell Wilson. I still think Russell Wilson is a top 5 NFL player at this point.
But look what's been going on the last couple of weeks.
I understand.
But the 2 quarterbacks we have in our top 3 have been trending this way, and Russell Wilson has been trending this way. All my top 5 have been trending this way. That's why I have to put Russell Wilson outside, because he's trending down.
Well, if you talked to me before the season, I would have had Russell Wilson ahead of Aaron Rodgers. So I'm changing that. So
you didn't change enough.
Okay, and in your opinion, but that's fine. And so number 6 on my list, because we're trying to figure out where Derrick Henry is, right? That's why we're having this conversation, because Derrick Henry came into the season with the NFL's top 100 at number 10 overall. We've already mentioned there's been injuries in the top 10. Gilmore, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, all banged up quite a bit. So that's allowed for Derrick Henry to climb up these rankings. Number 6, I have Dalvin Cook. Just because Dalvin Cook is more dynamic of a running back than Derrick Henry, because Dalvin Cook does not have to come off the field on obvious passing downs like Derrick Henry does and has been doing for his entire career. So at number 6, Zach, I have Dalvin Cook. Who is your 6th?
My 6 is Russell Wilson. That's where I have him outside of the top 5. I give him credit. He's a top 10 quarterback, but my 6 is Russell Wilson. So we're pretty.
Yeah, we got the same 6 guys in the top 6.
Order.
slightly.
And obviously, if you can tell between our conversation, Austin and I did not talk about this beforehand, so I had no idea what he was going to do. So very organic. So now we have lucky number 7. This is where it gets shaken up because I think Derrick Henry is vying for this 7 spot, but you could make an argument. I could argue like 4 or 5 guys to be in this spot.
Okay, honestly. So let's do that. Let's figure out where Derrick Henry is. I think we're all kind of right here on it and correct. So where is Derrick Henry? But first, let me tell you guys about the Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. The Bone and Joint Institute can take care of you or your loved one whenever that injury in life happens. From beginning to end, they take care of you in that one building. They don't have to send you all over town for different imaging and tests and rehab and surgery centers. No, it's all right there in Franklin off Highway 96 and I-65. It's an amazing complex they have there in Franklin, boneandjointtn.org.
A to Z Sports, we're talking about the top 10 right now. We're kind of reconfiguring what's happened because you have had a lot of guys that have gotten hurt, like George Kittle, like Michael Thomas, like Christian McCaffrey. So where does Derrick Henry fit in this conversation? So Austin, we're at number 7.
Yeah.
Does King Henry slide in at number 7 for you, or is he somewhere else?
He's not at number 7. I thought he was going to be at number 7, but he is not at number 7. I have at number 7 on a high, fast climb from where he was going into this year. Previously, the 25th ranked player in last year's NFL Top 100. I'm giving you Steelers pass rusher T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt at number 7. That dude changes games with a blink of an eye and is great against the run. He's great against the pass. He's a great pass rusher. T.J. Watt jumps to number 7 on my list.
So T.J. Watt is not – I have a different defender over T.J. Watt.
Okay.
I respect T.J. Watt. He is a game wrecker, and he has emerged – I mean, he's trending to be like J.J. Watt was for those like 3 or 4 years where he was a wreck and wasn't injured.
Right.
But I have to put King Henry at number 7.
Ooh, of course.
Derrick Henry is number 7 right now. He has climbed 3 spots. He is that man. He's the king. And the Titan, and this is kind of how I justify it. Not only has he had massive games, the 200-plus yard game against the Houston Texans, he's had consistent, even when they've lost now, he's had good games, stellar games. But without, and you kind of have to do this a little bit, without Derrick Henry, the Titans, I think, are maybe a 3 or 4 win team. Maybe a 2-win team, but I'd give them 3 or 4 because A.J. Brown and Ryan Tannehill. But I don't know how much that is contributed because of King Henry. King Henry, you talk about most valuable. King Henry is the most valuable player on the Tennessee Titans. There's no question. Even with Ryan Tannehill being the quarterback, I just think that he has done, going into a season that he was the defending NFL rushing leader, he's still in the mix to be back-to-back, right? I mean, he has not dropped off. And knock on wood, he hasn't gotten hurt or injured. He's been able to play through maybe that shoulder that he had last game. But I have him at 7. He has confirmed what I have always thought about King Henry.
Well, and I think Joshua brings up, says there's no way Derrick Henry is top 7. He can literally be taken off the field by just the Titans getting behind 14 points. He follows up, says you can't be a top 10 player and not be game script proof. Then Joshua continues. McCaffrey, Kamara, Dalvin Cook. He's going ahead of Derrick Henry. And
Joshua. McCaffrey's not playing, pal.
McCaffrey's hurt. And again, I don't know when Joshua jumped into our conversation, but
obviously a little late.
If Christian McCaffrey had played in all the games so far this year and had stayed healthy, then yeah, I would have put Christian McCaffrey ahead of Derrick Henry. I thought it was appropriate that Christian McCaffrey was ranked 6th going into this year and Derrick Henry was ranked 10th going into this year. Derrick Henry is a top 10 player. He is somebody who you cannot defend when he is doing what he does best. does have a point where Derrick Henry is not a complete running back yet. And it's year 5, and he's not a good pass protector. And he's obviously not a natural hands catcher or a natural route runner. And by year 5, will he ever be? And that's okay if he's not.
He doesn't need to be.
That again,
he's so good at other things, it doesn't matter.
Let me finish. And that's okay. The Titans showed and told us that it's okay that he cannot be a every down running back and that they can still be successful in offense with that. And he's worth $50 million over 4 years by being a limited running back in those situations. But when it comes to ranking the top 10 players or ranking NFL players and looking at TJ Watt versus Derrick Henry, TJ Watt is a complete player. TJ Watt in no circumstance needs to come off the field ever. Derrick Henry does. And so that's why I have Derrick Henry.
TJ Watt does not impact the game like Derrick Henry because of the position he plays. He doesn't, Austin.
A pass rusher.
No, you're wrong. Derrick Henry wins you games.
Zach,
TJ Watt does not win you games.
Zach,
it's a different position.
Zach,
Derrick Henry wins you games. He single-handedly won
You've said the same thing 3 times.
TJ Watt has never done that.
That's the 3rd time you've said that. I understand that. I heard you the first 2. So
well, make sure you hear it again.
Okay, thank you. You want to say the 4th time?
I will, yes.
Zach, whenever we say what are the top 4 most important positions in the game of football, we say quarterback, left tackle, pass rusher, and cornerback. Never have we discussed the running back being in one of those top 4 most important positions. Derrick Henry is different than most running backs. I'm admitting that. But TJ Watt is a game changer.
He's
Derrick
not a game winner.
I disagree. I think
you can't disagree. Derrick Henry has won single-handedly games. Like he's been the only player.
How do you think the Steelers won 8 games last year with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph?
Not with just TJ Watt. He just doesn't affect the game as much as Derrick Henry.
Completely disagree. Completely. They both affect the game a lot.
Of course they both do. But Derrick Henry wins you games single-handedly. TJ Watt can't do it. He doesn't carry the football. He can't score points. It's not his fault. It's just the position he plays. Don't be like you say I'm hard-headed at times. I admit that. So you're being hard-headed at times.
But you
right now, you don't understand that Derrick Henry carries the football and he wins games.
So by this logic, why do you have Aaron Donald 3rd?
Because Eric Donald is the best possible player. You talk about you said that Derrick Henry is different.
Yes.
Aaron Donald is different. That's
right. But again, I think TJ Watt is a more complete football player.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's my rankings.
But it doesn't matter in the scheme of winning football games. What's the goal? Every time you go into a football game, what's the goal?
To win. Good job, smart guy. Thanks,
I'm just wanting to make sure that you're there because what you say doesn't necessarily line up with that logic.
I think it does, man. You're being like you're calling me thick-headed. I think you're the stubborn one that's happening right now. Like I have Derrick Henry 8th. I have TJ Watt 7th. The reason why I put TJ Watt ahead of Derrick Henry is TJ Watt has proven to be a 100% complete football player. Derrick Henry has holes, and you have to understand.
Derrick Henry wins you games.
Yes, he does. I agree.
What's more important?
What, dude? We're not talking about who you would draft higher.
No, did I say that?
No.
I didn't. You said that. You're putting I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't understand how you are so thick-headed when it comes to Derrick Henry. Understand that Derrick.
You're just a doubter. So
no, I'm not. I have him 8th, Zach. How is that doubting Derrick Henry when he says we're one spot different? Why is Dalvin Cook ahead of Derrick Henry in your opinion?
Say again?
Why is Dalvin Cook ahead of Derrick Henry in your opinion?
Right now, he's better right now.
Why? Tell me why. Give me some things. Give me some reasoning, some logic behind it. Why is Dalvin
single-handedly has won games for the Minnesota Vikings?
Okay, how has he done that? Why? Okay, so he's winning games. That's great. Derrick Henry's also winning games
with long runs. With the scheme that they play, with juke moves
okay. You're not giving me anything. You're just saying
I'm literally giving you things. You just don't want to take it. I'm telling you why. That he has had a better year up until this point, rushing the football, catching the football, doing things and they're winning games because of it. Derrick Henry has done something similar, but that's why I rank right now. Dalvin Cook is a better running back right now than Derrick Henry is. That's why I rank him that way.
Because Dalvin Cook is more of a complete running back than Derrick Henry.
That's your opinion. I'm saying that right now he's playing better. He's affecting the game more. So you can try to feed into what your rhetoric is, but I'm going to tell you he's winning games and he's playing better football. It's not about the completeness of the player. And that's why I say that Derrick Henry's better than TJ Watt is because, and I rank him this way, how can you affect the game the most? And Derrick Henry, because of the position, affects the game more than TJ Watt.
I disagree.
It's a fact.
I disagree. Derrick Henry's on the field 66% of the time. TJ Watt is on the field more. TJ Watt affects nearly every snap of the opposing offense.
Nearly. Right? Derrick Henry single-handedly puts up points to win games. You have to put up points to win games.
Yes, thank you. I mean, you're talking like a
make sure you know this, because it's like I'm talking to a kindergartner that doesn't know how football works.
Don't give me that. That's bull.
But you're being stubborn by not admitting that Derrick Henry affects the game, the outcome more than TJ Watt.
TJ Watt is on the field more than Derrick Henry.
Who affects the outcome of the game more?
I think they both do. And
that's not the question.
It depends on the game. Sometimes Derrick Henry can be taken out of the game. TJ Watt is never taken out of the game. Like the consistency of TJ Watt is that more than Derrick Henry. I think again, TJ Watt 7th, Derrick Henry 8th. Derrick Henry is a top 10 player in the NFL. Ethan says, by Zach's logic, his top 10 should be full of quarterbacks because they affect and impact the game more and have
in this conversation. It's different. You value it's value of what they do. That's the whole rankings, right? It's a top 10. That's why it's difficult. But it's the value and the evaluation of what they bring to the game that justifies the rankings of the top 10.
Rudy says without Henry this season, the Titans would be 5-4.
I think they'd be 4 and 5.
That's just a 1-game difference. I mean,
but without TJ Watt, what do you think the Steelers would be?
I mean, they probably would have lost 2 or 3 games.
So 2 games. So what would they be?
They would be 7-2, I guess. At this point.
So the difference between the Steelers being 7-2 and the Titans being possibly 4-5 or 3-6 is a massive difference.
Zach, what are we ranking?
Outcome of
what are we ranking? We're ranking the best players in the NFL right now.
And I value the outcome of a game and what that player
so let's move on from this because clearly neither of us is getting through to the other person and we're just wasting our breath. So after Henry at 7, who do you have at 8? Because I've said Derrick Henry's 8th for me. We're bitching and moaning over one damn position in this. Who is 8th for you?
A guy I don't think a lot of people thought about. I don't even know if he's in the top 10 on yours because I think that he gets credit, but not the credit he deserves. And it's my guy, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is the best.
How many guys do you have? How many my guys do you have?
I got some guys. Yeah, I watch a lot of NFL.
A lot of guys.
I watch NFL football.
Yeah, you just claim all the guys.
I watch NFL, but that's true. I've always liked Travis Kelce.
I know.
Years. So that is my guy. So confirmed. Always has been. Travis Kelce. I like the swagger of Travis Kelce, but I like the play of Travis Kelce. If you look, and this is actually, and I checked it before the show. Travis Kelce is like, if you look at the top, just wide receiver yards receiving, all right, he's sitting here at 6th among all wide receivers. The next tight end is 34, who's George Kittle, who's been hurt all season.
That's crazy.
I actually debated putting Travis Kelce above Derrick Henry, but I thought about impact of outcome. And because of Patrick Mahomes and all the other things. And that's the reason why he's been good, right? I don't want to discredit that. But think about that. Travis Kelce, I'll give you the top 10 wide receivers. It's like somebody's not supposed to be here. DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin of Washington, which is kind of crazy, Robbie Anderson, Travis Kelce, Justin Jefferson, Allen Robinson, Tyler Lockett, Devontae Adams. He shouldn't be there, but he is. So Travis Kelce is my player at that slot.
All right, A to Z Sports here live on this Friday. I'm actually not feeling the Truly Buzz. As I've done it,
You want to do another one?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate the offer there. A to Z Sports here live on the show. So we, before the show, talked about where is Derrick Henry. I have Derrick Henry 8th. Zach has Derrick Henry 7th. You do have a couple wide receivers that you want to have a conversation about on which of these guys should be ahead of the other. So I'm really curious to find out who these two wide receivers are, because we've talked about DeAndre Hopkins and you've got Travis Kelce ranked really high at 8th. So let's find out these wide receivers, Zach. But first, tell the people about Calvin and Subtle.
Yeah, Calvin and Subtle is where you need to get your hardwood floors. 615-448-6414. That's 615-448-6414 or online at calvinandsubtle.com. This holiday season, think outside the box. Say, honey, I got a good idea. Instead of buying the traditional gift, let's upgrade our house. The kids will love it. The dog will love it. We'll love it. We'll enjoy 2021 in more of a renovated home. Let's rip up this old carpet that, little Scruffy's been peeing on all Coronaville that we've been living in. Let's rip it up and let's put in brand new, high quality, cost-effective hardwood floors. 615-448-6414. Your house will feel different, and 2021 will be glorious. It will be a hell of a lot better than 2020. calvinandsubtle.com.
A to Z Sports here live. We still got our SEC gambling picks coming up. MyBookie.ag, code MyTitans to double your first deposit. I do have something that I want to get to, a new topic on the fly after we talk about Zach's wide receivers here. So Titans-related topic on the fly here after Zach talks about his wide receivers. So Zach, we both have Derrick Henry moving up two or three spots in the top 10. Who are these wide receivers you want us to pick from?
So I'm going to round out my top 10 because 8's Travis Kelce, 9 is Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is maybe he goes under the radar because of Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
He's on a bad defense.
But he's the best. He leads the league in tackles. He leads the league in tackles for loss. Like, the guy is unbelievable. So Bobby Wagner is my. Besides Aaron Donald, he's my next defender.
Okay.
Here's my conundrum. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Which of these two wide receivers should be 10? Stephon Diggs or DK Metcalf?
Oh, easy. This is the easiest question for me to answer.
Okay. And it's not about it's about right now. It's not but I want you to pump the brakes. I don't know who you're going to say. Actually, I don't know who you're going to say. I think I do, but I don't. So, but that's what we're asking. Comment in the comment section, Stephon Diggs or DK Metcalf at number 10 right now.
I mean, it's Stephon Diggs.
Oh, that's surprising.
I did not even have to. Like, as soon as you said Stephon Diggs and DK, it didn't even have to say Metcalf. Stephon Diggs is way better of a wide receiver than DK Metcalf. Is DK Metcalf a better athlete than Stephon Diggs? Yes. But the wide receiver position is such a deep, intricate position of playing at the NFL at a high level, and players catch up to you. DK Metcalf is elite at a couple of things. Elite at those things that he's good at. He has holes in his game. A.J. Brown is elite at a couple of things that he's good at, like yak. A.J. Brown, elite at that. A.J. Brown is elite at in-cutting routes, slant routes, right? DK Metcalf is elite at go routes and fade routes and contested catches because of his athleticism. But Stephon Diggs is way better of a wide receiver. Stephon Diggs can beat any coverage, can run any route against any coverage, and can get off press man any multiple different ways. Stephon Diggs has just been doing it a lot longer. Now, DK Metcalf go route is a cheat code. It's like when that player, it's like Michael Vick in Madden, right? You know how to, or Warwick Dunn back in Sega Genesis. You can just do things because he's faster than everybody. DK Metcalf can just do things because he's so big and so fast. But Stephon Diggs is the better wide receiver.
All right, so here's a question. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I have ranked Stephon Diggs over DK Metcalf. Over the next 4 years, would you want Stephon Diggs or DK Metcalf?
I mean, they're both the
Because
quarterback.
it's the unknown. You know what Stephon Diggs can do. You don't know what DK Metcalf can become.
I think DK Metcalf needs the right quarterback.
Well, does he have one? I mean, he's got your top 5 quarterback.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the wide receiver specifically. DK Metcalf needs the right quarterback. I think Josh Allen and Russell Wilson would be amazing with DK Metcalf, both of them. But Stephon Diggs, I think, can go out there and play and succeed and put up numbers with any quarterback that plays for the Bills or wherever he goes after this. I'm taking Stephon Diggs. He's good. Like, Stephon Diggs is really damn good. I'd take Devontae Adams over DK Metcalf.
Would you take Devontae Adams over Stephon Diggs right now?
That's hard. Those guys are really even. I think I would go with Stephon Diggs because I've seen him do it with not Aaron Rodgers. Like, Devontae Adams is really good, guys, and I love watching Devontae Adams, but he does have Aaron Rodgers. I've seen Stephon Diggs put up points with Kirk Cousins. I've seen him do it with Case Keenum. I've seen him do it now with Josh Allen. So I'm taking Stephon Diggs over Adams, but that's pretty close.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I would rank them. Diggs, Metcalf is just, as you said, a cheat code that if Aaron Rodgers had DK Metcalf, right? Because now you have 2 elite players at elite things, and that trumps elite coverage. So, again, that's a huge if and hypothetical, but I respect Stephon Diggs, and I think he doesn't get enough credit in general, except for real, true football fans. You know, if it's like what we said last week: when you know, you know. If you know, you know. And people, if you talk about Stephon Diggs and they give him, you know.
Now, I do like a lot of the comments that are coming in, like from DJ and also from Jared, asking the real question: AJ Brown or DK Metcalf?
Well, let's not have that right now.
No, I'm not going to. I'm just saying those 2 are who you compare to each other, not Stephon Diggs and DK or Stephon Diggs and AJ. Like, it's not those guys. The veteran wide receivers know how to do way more than young wide receivers, just because it takes a maturation process to play that position. And that's
study, right? I mean, you're playing, well, at least you're playing 3 teams that usually have the same type players, right? Because of divisions. And then on top of that, over time, especially if you get traded to other teams, you know who's in the league, right? Like, you know who's covering you. And your job all week as game planning is to study their tendencies. So the longer you have to do that, it makes the longer you do something, the better you're at it.
Yeah.
Yes. But you have this freak of DK Metcalf that, I mean, nobody realizes, and this is sad, but it's Detroit, of really Calvin Johnson probably is the best wide receiver of all time. And it was because of his size, like DK Metcalf, his experience, because he had that like Stephon Diggs. He could run tremendous routes, and he was better. But he was stuck in Detroit, unfortunately, and didn't get the notoriety that Jerry Rice or even T.O.
And he also didn't have the longevity. And he didn't have the longevity.
He didn't have longevity. You know why? Because he played in Detroit.
Well, yeah, and big bodies break down faster than smaller bodies.
Big bodies can withstand if they're winning Super Bowls.
No, I disagree, Zach. I mean, you look like Calvin Johnson, big body with foot injury.
Megatron would have played longer if he would have played for the Steelers, Patriots.
I'm not saying that. Like, yeah, he would have played a few more years. Again, I'm not just.
But a few more years makes all the difference.
Right, but that Jerry Rice played like 20. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Randy Moss is a bigger body, but he's more slender. Randy Moss more a body style of the Jerry Rice, not necessarily like Megatron, who's more like a DK Metcalf. But What?
Louis says Detroit is alive. No,
No.
Detroit is dead.
Louis, I don't think has ever had a correct comment. The best thing he's came up with is Sam Brillo pad. That's the best comment Louis ever had.
Fair.
Other than that,
But
it's
Detroit is dead. Detroit is awful. Detroit is the worst city on that side of the Mississippi that is like an actual city, right? Like Buffalo is no good, but at least they got Bills Mafia. Detroit has nobody. They have no juice.
well, and Travis brings it up. It's Detroit has ruined two all-time greats of Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson.
So sad.
Early retirements because they're stuck in Detroit and they can't get out of it.
I would if so. Here's my thing. If
Okay.
I was Trevor Lawrence and the Detroit Lions were picking number one, I would say I'm not going to Detroit. I refuse, and I would come out and have a press conference and say I'm not going to Detroit. Detroit kills football players, and I'm not ready to die before I even start.
Yeah,
I would do that. And again, that's my personality compared to everybody else's, but I would refuse Detroit.
Yeah.
Never, ever, 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 ever.
A to Z Sports comments from Dean Pease when asked if he would consider coaching again. That is the story.
Like this week?
Oh, like it just came out like just a few minutes ago. Remember when I said that I have a Titans story that I want to get to? A little on the fly topic. I will read you the quotes from Dean Pease when asked would he get into coaching again. That via Gentry Estes of the Tennessean. But first, let me tell you about Mandu, the Pulse of Fitness, where one 15-minute workout equals 5+ hours in the weight room. Mandu.com. Your first workout is absolutely free. Guys, I told you about their expansion this week and what's going to happen in 2021 for Mandu, the Pulse of Fitness. Also, they've got a great holiday idea for you. They got a holiday bundle pack that includes 4 sessions to Mandu, a really nice fleece blanket, and also some body fitness cream to help your skin and muscles repair as well. Mandu.com. That's a phenomenal value that you can gift a loved one. Maybe you've been thinking about Mandu and trying Mandu. We can get a great value of that for their holiday gift pack. Mandu.com. Your first workout's free anyway, but you can gift Mandu 4 classes with a holiday pack this winter.
So this is actually a great let's go real on this. And I want to talk about Mandu for 2 seconds.
Okay.
The gift idea is a great gift idea because Mandu is so unique. It's not like, look, here, honey, here's a gym membership, right? That's not going to go over well, right? There's undertones that they're not in the best shape. Mandu is so unique and creative. It's more of an experiment, right? It's more of trying something different, a different technique.
Yes.
It's not that, honey, I think you're overweight or you need to get, your ass to the gym. It's more, hey, go to Mandu and it can really just change. It really changes your mind. It doesn't just change your body. That's the great part about Mandu. This is a great gift idea, truly.
Yes. And let's see. Juan says, when is Mandu coming to Birmingham? Next year, 2021, Mandu is coming to Birmingham. And so that's great news. Mandu announced expansion. They've already got 2 in Memphis, multiple in the state of Texas and Dallas and in Austin. Chicago's exploding big time with Mandu. Then coming in 2021, Birmingham, Charlotte, Little Rock, Arkansas, Naples, Fort Lauderdale, and Boca Raton, Florida, having big expansions for Mandu coming next year, excuse me.
And Louis responds to your shade by saying, I say a lot of true comments. That beer got you fogged. That truly got you a little bit fogged. And then our favorite Corona bro, Ethan, says, don't let them get you down, Louis. Just keep chugging along.
Yeah, I like that. Look, I like punny comments, but Louis wrong more often than right. So, Zach, how about this? Gentry Estes of the Tennessean talked with Dean Pease this week. He asked him about what retirement's been like, and COVID has ruined a lot of Dean Pease's retirement plans. Now, he was asked if he would consider coaching again. Quote from Dean Pease, I'll be honest with you, I miss it. I miss it a lot. If the right situation came along, I would certainly consider it. I'll put it that way. I don't know that I'd do it, but I'm not saying I wouldn't at least consider it. Dean Pease saying he would consider the right opportunity to coach once again. And
do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Vrabel's already done it.
Do.
Vrabel's done it once.
Huh?
Vrabel's done it once.
Do it again. This is what I do if I'm Mike Vrabel. I talk to John Robinson and say, we got to get him. Our defense sucks. And it's just the facts. You know, it's not an assumption. It is the facts. They're no good. They have big holes. We need Dean Pease. We don't have a defensive coordinator. Actually, it's a great spot, right? We don't have one. So Shane Bowen, hey, great guy. He's not cutting in his play caller. We're giving up big plays. We've adjusted the roster. It's not just Jonathan Joseph. We got picked apart by the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday night in front of national TV audience. Let's go get Dean Pease for the rest of the season and see if we can't run this back and improve this football team. That's what I would say to Mike Vrabel and John Robinson. Then I'd mosey my happy ass with a mask on into Dean Pease's house with the contract and say, Dean, let's run it back.
You just e-sign it, man. You don't have to walk into his house with a mask on. You just have to get that e-signature.
Well, that depends on NFL protocol.
Right.
You can't refinance without, you got to actually write down.
I understand that. I get you. I get you. But again, like, there is only one situation for Dean Pease to coach again. It's in Nashville. He's not moving from Nashville. He loves Nashville. COVID is keeping him from traveling like he wanted to from the Tennessean article. And so Dean Pease has one option to coach. And it's just if that coach, the head coach, will give him a call. Dom says Vrabel's not going to backpedal. He's too stubborn.
Dom's not wrong.
Now, we don't know because Vrabel was once before asked a retired Dean Pease, can you come out of retirement to be my D coordinator? And it worked. And then Dean Pease retired 2 years later.
That was a different situation.
I understand.
There was no pride being swallowed.
Yes, but at some point as leaders, you have to swallow pride. And I think that's
true, but not everybody swallows.
Well, Mike Vrabel was billed to everybody as a great leader of men when he was hired as a head coach of the Tennessee Titans after the Houston Texans defense that he coordinated was 32 out of 32 the year before. He was coined a great leader of men. And do I believe Mike Vrabel is a good leader for that franchise? Yeah. Now, another step to show that is by admitting when you're wrong. And that doesn't mean that the only way he can admit when he's wrong is to hire Dean Pease. It could be an option.
Look, I feel like, Austin, you and I are great leaders. You've admitted you're wrong on Derrick Henry. I have admitted I'm wrong on Chris.
I'm not out here saying I'm a great leader. I have a lot more leadership learning to do. Am I an improving leader? Absolutely. But I'm not asinine enough or arrogant or stubborn or too cocky to call myself a great leader now. I've got a lot more growing to do.
I'm too cocky. I'd say it.
Yeah, I know. I'd
say it. I believe it, though. You got to believe in yourself. And that I do think is a true characteristic of a leader is believing that you are one. And I think Mike Vrabel, and I believe he's a great leader. And look, all leaders, just like all humans, have flaws. But you have to have that burning inside of you that you believe that you can lead these men and be confident in your actions and your decisions to take them to where they need to go, at all costs. And so, yes, I believe I am a leader, but I also believe that Mike Vrabel can be a leader. He has to adapt on the fly, and that's hard for. Let's just face it. It's hard for alphas to do that. It's not a characteristic to take steps back, but sometimes you have to take one step back to take two steps forward.
Yeah, I don't, would rehiring Dean Pease admit a fault from Mike Vrabel? Well, you could spin it as no, because Dean Pease retired by his own decision, and now he wants to come back. And he knows the players, because I think BMO on YouTube has nailed it. What is also a fact, if Dean Pease walks in, instant jolt to the players and could be the boost that's needed.
And it's a familiar face. It's not just like, hey, my way or the highway.
And they love Dean Pease. Dean Pease was in the stands for what game this year? The Chicago Bears game. And that was one of the best performances by the Titans defense of the season, because they knew Grandpa Pease was watching. Grandpa came to watch their game today, and they were on it. They were on their A game. They played great. They were awesome on third down.
The reason why Jonathan Joseph wasn't there.
That goes into it. It plays a part, sure. But Nick Foles sucks, but they sacked him 3 times. But again, I do agree with BMO's point. Instant jolt, instant juice into those guys, because I remember locker room cleanout day back in January after the AFC title game, standing in front of Wesley Woodyard, and right after Dean Pease announced his retirement to the media and everybody, talking to Wesley Woodyard about what Dean Pease meant to him and what Dean Pease meant to that roster. And it means a lot. And that roster's in there. Like it's a lot of the same guys on defense from last year.
Well, I think the clock's ticking because they can't lose any more AFC games in the next 3 weeks.
No doubt. No doubt about that. A to Z Sports here live on a Friday. A little bonus Dean Pease discussion there. So let's go ahead and get to our SEC gambling picks and ain't that good news on a Friday here on the show. But first, real quick, let me tell you guys about Renters Warehouse and Renters Warehouse Nashville. I can find it, renterswarehousenashville.com. Renterswarehouse.com is where you go to find out how much your home can rent for. So many different ways you can use Renters Warehouse during this pandemic time. If you lost your job, lost your income, and that house is eating away at your savings, Renters Warehouse can help you create extra cash flows for you and your family. If you own rental property now and you've been DIYing it this whole time, don't do that. Don't risk it. Just let the pros do it. It's not a big deal. They handle it all. You collect the money. Actually, they collect the money, then give it to you. Renterswarehouse.com is where to go. So many different ways you can use them. Great folks at renterswarehouse.com.
Speaking of gambling, mybookie.ag, you can bet wherever you want. Code MyTitans doubles your first deposit. Put in $100, you actually get $200. Mybookie.ag, A to Z Sports has partnered with them this football season. Code MyTitans.
So, Zach, SEC picks of this week. You currently have a 1-game lead on me. You are 21-22, 1 game under 500. I'm right behind you at 20-23 after we were both tied last week. So
it's been a tough year. I mean, it's hard. This is like SEC picks are tough. I'm actually kind of proud of us that we're 500.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find my pen so I can mark down our picks. But yeah, I got it now. So it has not been an easy year of trying to figure out what these teams are going to look like on a week-to-week basis.
Or if they're even going to play.
Yeah, postponed games have gone into this. So let's start like we normally do with Vols at Auburn. Auburn is a 10.5-point favorite. Man, I talked about this yesterday with Jonathan Crompton. Jeremy Pruitt's teams are 5-1 versus Gus Malzahn's teams. And Auburn's offenses only average 18.8 points per game against Jeremy Pruitt defenses. But not this year. So I'm taking Auburn minus the 10.5 to handle Tennessee with relative ease on Saturday night.
Yeah, Tennessee screwed me against Arkansas. They're not going to screw me this weekend. I take Auburn. I think they're going to win by 14.
All right. I think that's a pretty safe bet there. All right. A to Z Sports, LSU minus 2.5 at Arkansas. Zach, I'll let you start this one. This is the lowest spread of the weekend in the SEC. So LSU minus 2.5 at Arkansas.
LSU's had some time off. I'm taking the Bayou Bengals. They're going to win by at least a field goal, which makes them cover. I'll take LSU. Arkansas, rocky, and help me because I picked Florida last week. I'll take LSU at Arkansas.
Yeah, Florida Arkansas was the difference in last week. That gave you the lead for the season. I didn't expect. Look, Arkansas put up 30+ points on Florida, but I didn't expect them to give up 63. Good Lord. All right, so I agree. I'm taking LSU minus the points as well. This line, I don't even know what to do because Vandy looked pretty good offensively last week against Kentucky. Now they host Florida. Florida minus 31.5. Part of me wants to go Vandy plus the points, but I also see Florida putting up another 55, 60-point day. And can I trust Vandy and Ken Seals on that offense to put up 25 to 30 points for 2 weeks in a row? No, I can't trust that. Florida minus 31.5. Am I doing that? That's what I'm doing.
I am too. I was hoping you were going to take Vandy. If you watch the Kentucky game, which I watched the end of it, they backdoored some points there. Seals is playing better, but they ain't playing that good. I think Florida's going to boat race them because Florida has a lot to play for. Vandy can't win, right? I mean, Vandy going into the game knows that they can't win, and if you're just playing for a spread, which they're not, that's not what Derek Mason's doing. He's more probably playing for his job, but Florida covers this.
Yeah, because you're looking at Kentucky's offense is not good, and they put up 38 with relative ease against Vandy. Florida's going to score a lot. So, all right, we're agreeing. We're on the same path here on the first three picks. Kentucky at number 1, Alabama. Alabama minus 30. Zach, I'll let you start.
Another really big spread, and it's at Alabama, which doesn't help Kentucky. Alabama's had a bye because they didn't play LSU, which doesn't help Kentucky. Alabama's the number 1 team in the nation, which doesn't help Kentucky. Alabama's going to cover. I think it's going to be like 55-10.
Yeah, I take look, we
Zach Goodman says I would take Kentucky with the points. All those things, and again, weird things happen, but I said 4 things on. I gave you 4 reasons why they could score more than 30 points than Kentucky can.
Right. So I agree. So now we're continuing the trend of 4 consecutive agreements here. But again, this is kind of what this season's like. The last 2 games might be a differential for both of us. I've got my decisions made on these 2.
I do too.
Mizzou minus 6.5 at South Carolina. I'm taking Missouri.
I am too.
Damn it. All right. I thought that'd be a difference. Mississippi State at Georgia. Georgia minus 25. I'm taking State. I'm taking the Bulldogs.
Damn it. I am too.
No.
I had that beforehand because I think this is Mississippi State has slowly gotten a little bit better to put up points, and I don't think Georgia is the type of team because of their and just be honest, their quarterback situation
is the problem, right? What did I say before the season?
And I thought JT Daniels was. It's like JT Daniels is a Dory Jackson. Like, why the hell are you not coming back? I don't understand. I don't get it. You are needed. You are very much needed for this football team, but you ain't walking through that door. So both with knee injuries. But I do think Mississippi State covers this. 25 is a very large number, and I just think State has whittled away and gotten better, and Georgia has maybe taken a step back. Stetson Bennett, suspect at times, throwing off of his back leg and across his body. But I had that written down. I'm not going.
I know. I same thing. I mean, I have
sucks. I like at least having 1 or 2 games that we got some juice on.
Let's just hope let's just get over 500. Right? Let's just root together and go over 500. That's the plan. So we're on the same page all week in the SEC. Let's finish.
Here's one thing real quick. Yeah. We both picked Missouri because I think Missouri's a better team than South Carolina.
Right.
But you have the uniqueness of that little bit of juice that is injected into South Carolina because their coach was fired. Do you think that takes effect? Because South Carolina has won games this year, not a lot, but
no, I don't think that has any impact. I think because South Carolina is now having some of their best players opt out. Both of their starting corners opted out. Going to focus on the draft, including J.C. Horn, who is a potential first-round draft pick, son of.
When did they opt out?
Like this past week.
Isn't that like BS?
Look, man, that's the option they have. But again,
BS. I hate that. That's a quitter. Like strategy, whatever. But so the season's done. Blame it on COVID. Screw it. Is that what we're teaching the youth? Is when you get into a bind, just quit.
Look. That's
like Steve Spurrier did. I mean,
is that not? But again, you're looking at what is the right move for them? Is it to go put bad tape out there because their team sucks? Huh?
Yeah, it's beneficial to quit on their team and to help themselves.
Because if I'm J.C. Horn and my defense is allowing 35, 40, 60 points a game sometimes, I don't want that tape of me out there because my teammates suck and because my coach is sucking. Like, I'm trying to be a high draft pick to go for my future. And so I get both sides of it. It's a tough decision. And yes, they have an absolute easy way out with COVID. And because it's what is their life? Because opting out now means they can go out there and do more things and they're not getting tested every day. We also have to remember of what they're living day to day by playing and what they're giving up most likely by staying in their dorms or apartments, just going to the facility, getting tested, not hanging out with friends outside the facility, and doing all these things that it takes to play the games. And now JC Horn can say, or whoever, he'd be like, I don't have to do that anymore.
Some quick news on sports before we get to our good news. Kevin mentions this, which is true. Taysom Hill is starting, not Jameis, and something I just saw across the Twitter feed. Tennessee Athletic Director Philip Fulmer has COVID. So that's not a great thing. We hope that he gets better and improves.
Sure.
But that just came across the wire.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that. A to Z Sports. Let's get to our Ain't That Good News segment. We do this to end the week every Friday. I've got some local good news that has to do with national storyline as well, and kind of some history. It's a lot of everything. Does that make sense?
No, but that's why I'm intrigued.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get to my good news here on this Friday. So we've been doing our Nashville Women in Sports Media series written by Laura Privet now for 3+ months, where Laura goes and interviews all the great women in Nashville sports media and tells their story. One article she wrote back earlier in the summer was about Courtney Lyle, who graduated from Brentwood High School, class of 2008, same as me. I worked alongside with Courtney in our TV production classes throughout freshman all the way to senior year of high school. Well, this week, Maction, on Tuesday night, Courtney became only the 4th female to call play-by-play for an ESPN college football broadcast in history. And she joins Pam Ward, Beth Mowens, and Tiffany Green. So Courtney Lyle from Brentwood High School went to University of Tennessee, homegrown here in Nashville's area, just the 4th female to call ESPN college football play-by-play. So congrats to Courtney, a good high school friend of mine who works her ass off, who deserves it, and she's going to do it. You're going to start seeing a lot more of her as her career progresses. That's a big deal. Only the 4th female to do that. So congrats to Courtney. That's my good news.
No, that's great news. And that's respect of people working hard and earning it, right? Things are championships or success is earned, not given. That's another great saying that I try to live life by. Shout out to my man, King James, LeBron. But that's really, that is great. That is good news. Abdul says, great news. Best friend's getting married today. And I'm getting wasted like true.
Yeah, you want some Trulies? I actually just have one more, my friend.
Austin is already ahead of you, one ahead of you at least on that. So
yeah, get on my level, guys. Weekend started an hour ago.
All right, so I'm going to go with good news ahead. Yesterday it was Thursday, and we had Magic Bucket, and I talked about a little jive turkey right there for the Thanksgiving themed. I think this year, and this is more of a good news message than it is, well, I think it can be taken anyway. But next week, we won't get an opportunity to talk about this. But very strange year. We talk about how crappy 2020 is, and it has been for a lot of people. Probably one of the worst years for most people in general that we've had because of this pandemic. There's good news on the horizon of, I think that the virus, there will be an end, right? Like vaccines will happen. We will get through this. But Thanksgiving, I always believe, is an opportunity to give thanks for what you have. We are all above ground, right? You have to think about that. For the people that are no longer with us, they can't say that, and that's tough. This year will be especially hard because people will social distance. You won't be able to see your grandparents or your parents or your cousins, your aunts or your uncles as much maybe as you would, because whether you're following some of the protocols or whether you're not, whatever it is, but be thankful for who you have in your life, right? I think that is an important message that we get so caught up in. Why am I wearing this damn mask? Or I can't do what I want, or I can't travel to where I want to go. But think about always spin it in the positive light is who do you have in your life that you can call on the phone, or you can FaceTime, or your children or your nieces and nephews, or again, your family members, FaceTime them, call them, and just tell them how thankful that you are that they are in your life. Maybe you don't see them next Thursday or next weekend, but share a memory with them. That's what you should be thankful for, because every single day above ground is a great day. And that also is a Pitbull quote. So I will give credit to Mr. Worldwide.
Damn it. I did not realize. It was like, that's a really good, wise quote there, Zach. And then you ruined it by saying Pitbull said that. God.
No, I made it better. Because I love these the inspirational quotes from people that you were like, man, that's a great quote. That guy must be a genius. And then I confirm he is, because it's Mr. 305.
Gross. Frank says, good news. Had BioPure come to the house and spray. Bang! How about that? Again, seriously, BioPure Music City, a great opportunity to take advantage of this right before your family's coming to your home is have them come out and spray for the flu, for the coronavirus, disinfect your home with BioPure Music City, 615-635-0555. The Magic Bucket, we do that every Thursday. Have a lot of fun with that. Ethan says, good news, my baby finally seems to be over her ear infection. Aaron says, good news. Dang it.
The streak is over.
I was trying so hard to get through that, just to talk through the sneeze.
The streak is over.
I was trying so hard to talk through the sneeze, but I couldn't do it. Aaron says, my good news is in the making, that he'd go open to get some good seats in WWE Thunderdome. Let's see. Dom says, good news. Started reading the Three Ring Circus by John Perlman. Great read. Details the Lakers in the Jackson, Shaw, Kobe eras. Very interesting. A lot of backstory.
I saw a TikTok this morning that has to do with Kobe. It was Jay Williams. You may like or hate, doesn't really matter.
I have an indifferent, but yeah.
Jay Williams was telling a story about when he was playing basketball, and he got to the gym early because they were playing the Lakers. And the Lakers, this was the time when they'd just come off their championships. I mean, he was trying to get prepared. He was young. He was hungry. He hadn't been in the motorcycle wreck yet. And he goes to the gym, and Kobe's already there. And he starts shooting, and he shoots for about an hour and a half. And he's like, all right, I need to go get in the sauna and like get ready for the pregame. And Kobe's still there. And so they go in. Kobe drops 40 that night. He was there before Jay Williams started to shoot around. After he left, Kobe was still there. And so Jay Williams walked up to Kobe and goes, hey, man, I got to ask you. I was like, man, how long did you shoot for? Like, he was doing game moves. They weren't like – and Kobe goes, well, I did that because I knew you were there. And I wanted to know – and I was like, I wanted you to know that if you were willing to work, I wanted you to see that I'm willing to work harder. And that is such like a Kobe thing. And, you know, I thought about Kobe's life this morning. When I heard that, I thought about all of the hours that he left at 3 a.m. or at midnight or at untraditional, hours just to go practice to be great. And that was inspiring. I was like, damn it, I love that.
That's good. That's good. Other good news. David says parents coming to visit in Colorado for Thanksgiving. Let's see. Then Otis says finally able to go back to work after getting the Rona. Congrats. Glad you're okay. Kevin says good news. Wife is pregnant and the doctor thought the baby might have a heart issue, but further tests show nothing to be an issue. That is fantastic news, Kevin. Thanks you for sharing that. And then Ethan caps it off. Austin drank, burped, and sneezed on camera this morning. I hit the trifecta. So with that, we will send everybody to the weekend except Zach. You've got Madden coming up in about 2.5 hours.
High noon, baby. Yep. Lamar Jackson. This is a game.
Test defensive skills, man. I mean, Lamar Jackson on Madden. This is gonna be tough.
I'm undefeated so far this season. I really got to come to play. No mistakes. Yep. Ooh, I thought about that as well. I was like, it's going to be tough.
All right, guys. Have a great start to your weekend. Zach will see you at noon. We'll see you right for our pregame show on Sunday at the Mainstay. I'll see you guys for Big Orange Halftime and postgame show right here on Saturday for Tennessee Auburn. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.